early December on Dartmoor. This is an Arlington pippin tree, probably about 80 years old. We nurture it because it has very tasty apples and they're extremely nice baked. It has a lovely habit. It grows sort of slightly weeping, covered in lichens. So lichens growing on a branch, do they pose a threat to the tree? I'm often asked that question. Particularly in Devon, we do grow pretty good moss and lichens on our fruit trees. They can reach a time, as you can see here, where the flower buds are completely shrouded, and that isn't such a good thing. Mostly we can tolerate it. Generally the tree, it's not a problem. But where it begins to be a problem, and the answer is to replace the branch with a young branch. So prune out an older branch, and the young shoots, you can see, don't have any lichen on them. It's only when they get a bit older, like this bit here, it's beginning to get a mass of it. But it's not a threat. The buds are in the light, which is the important thing. Lovely, lovely lichens, and in particular this rare and I believe protected Lobaria pulmonaria, which is this one here. Most commonly seen around perhaps on ash, but also seen on beech and sycamore, but quite unusual to see it on apple, I think. But if you have some, then you could let us know and we'll forward it on to the lichen people. Arlington pippin is a tip bearer, which means that it likes to produce buds, flower buds at the end of shoots, at the tip, and it's a challenge perhaps to how to prune it, because if I make a cut there, I'm cutting off flower buds. Well, it's a matter of balance. If you've got lots of tips and you prune some of them, then you'll still get quite a lot of fruit. But also, there are some shoots which don't necessarily have flower buds at the end, so you can cut those. Why are we pruning? Well, one of the reasons we're pruning is to get some new growth. So if I prune that one there, I will get some new growth from behind, from the flower buds. So it could be you lose some flower buds, but you're achieving your aim, which I'm going to do, of promoting a new shoot. And it could be a shoot which didn't have flower buds on the end, and therefore not a tip bearing shoot, and you do the same thing with that. So whether it's a tip bearer or not, you're still going to cut it in the same sort of way. So this is a Highgate wonder tree, which again does quite well on Dartmoor, crops regularly, the apples ripen nicely. It's a vigorous grower, as you can see by the shoots there and there. So over pruning can result in a profusion of growth, just about in balance. It's a very easy tree to prune. It produces lots of fruit buds, lots of spurs, and we find it crops very regularly at 800 feet on the edge of Dartmoor. This is nashmeads kernel tree, vigorous grower, lots of fruit buds naturally produces, so it's quite an easy one to grow, and the most delicious apple that grows and stores well. This is a Brook pippin, an easy tree to grow, comes from East Devon. It's a late variety. At the moment we leave some apples on the tree so the birds can have a go, and you can see they've been pecked out a little bit. So we've picked and stored all we need. Some will be left on the trees that the birds get, some will drop down on the ground and get visit from fox, the mice, birds. So we're back at the Ellington pippin. I mean, it's a wonderful apple for eating, but as we find, we bake it, and it's a really nice cooker. And in fact, the French don't make a distinction. Raymond Leblanc was on a programme in his heritage orchard, and he was saying there's no distinction. Apples are good for cooking and eating. And Ellington pippin, I would say, is a multi-purpose apple. It's great.